I hated the way he used to abuse my mom when he got drunk. And from there, I hated alcohol with everything within me. And then when he died, I realized that it is alcohol that killed him. I hated it 100 times.
Lord bless you and keep you.
Hello, welcome to Tuko Talks. My name is Lynn Ngugi. Now, my guest today has gone through the most in life, from being rejected by his own dad to surviving what many people consider a miracle. His story today will leave you inspired, challenged, and believing that nothing in this life is impossible. So without further ado, please allow me to let him introduce himself. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very fine, thank you.
Yes, please.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, my name is Tony Cruize, a father of 3. Yes, a father of 3 and married to Carol Tony for the last 9 years. And I love her. Let me just say that because she's just an amazing lady. She's a pastor, and we are an amazing family.
Yeah.
The way I look at it now, we are an amazing family.
God.
And I'm grateful to be a father.
It's how you speak about your family,
Yes.
with so much grace and so much. You brighten up when you speak about your family.
Oh yes, because like when I look at my background, the way I grew up, and when I look at now, I am different because I grew up without a dad, any father figure in my presence or in my upbringing. But right now, I'm proud to be a father. Yes, and every time I look at my kids when I open the door and they are the first people to come and greet me, I feel, wow, this is something that I missed when I was growing up, but it is something I can, and God has given me the ability to show it to my children.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. And I know when we started, I said you have gone through the most in life. When I spoke to you earlier about your story, I was like, am I hearing right? Yani someone can go through so much and still be so happy. Yeah, so please take us through your story.
Wow, thank you so much. Like I said, I grew up in Ongata Rongai. I was born in Ongata Rongai in a slum. I call it a slum. It's called Kware. And I grew up in a family of 3. And we were brought up by our mom. My mom's name is called Salome Wangare, and she really did her best to bring us up. We were living in a mud house, so that is where my mom would do her cooking of uji and then go out to sell it. Trust me, on her back. That is one thing that I prayed every day in my innocence, that one day, mom, God will get my mom out of this. But I didn't know how.
You did not know how.
Yes.
And when you are growing up under such conditions, where is dad?
This is when I became, a time came when I asked myself, by the way, when we talk of dad, there's kids in my neighborhood, they would say, and especially, boys, when they would get into fighting, and they would say, you will not fight me. If you hit me, I'm going to call my dad. So that's when I realized, oh, by the way, I don't use this phrase, I always don't use this phrase. I can't tell people that I'm going to call my dad because he's not there. Oh, where is he? So I started asking myself such questions. Where is my dad? Where is my dad? But I felt ashamed, or maybe I was too young to ask my mother, where is my dad? I don't know what happened. I didn't have the courage to ask my mom, where is my dad? So one day, now this is when when things blew up. My brother went, consumed changa. He came back home drunk. He said, today I want to know who my father is.
Hey.
I
Leo
mean,
nataka
yes,
kujua.
he told my mom to her face, I want to know who my father is. And he really messed things up, you know. He said, I don't care what, I am going to my father. So the next, after a week, he came back home happy. Came back home happy. Hey, today I was with my dad. And he took me to, now it became more pressing to me. Why am I not experiencing the same thing? So I went to Shosho again. Shosho, tell me, what is my brother talking about? And he said, oh, it's a long story. He has his dad, you have your dad. Your dad is somewhere. And I'll tell you this, he's called so-and-so, he works in a certain place, but he left you, he abandoned you guys, and he went somewhere. And he went and had another family. Oh, that broke me. That really, really broke me, because I was like, what? This life I have been living, it's really difficult, but a person can afford to leave us and go to another family and start off another family, and to make the matters worse, them they live well. The guy has a car. Our house does not even have a gate to show or to bring in a car. You know, the guy lives well. So I told Shushu, show me how I can see him. He told me it is very difficult, but I'll show you anyway. So he gave me links. Then I was of age, I mean, maybe about 10 or so years. I went and saw where he used to work. Can you imagine? I was told that the guy owns a flat and he has a business there. So I went.
Like flat, you mean apartment?
An apartment, yes. And it's a commercial apartment, and it is in a very prime place. So I went around it and I said, you mean? So I went and looked, and I was told, because I was explained to and I was told how he looks like. I went and asked. I was even given the name. I went and asked, who is called so-and-so? And the guy innocently told me, there he is. Oh, wow. So the first time was to check out, just to investigate him. Oh, there he is. So I saw he came out, went, got into a car and drove off. Then I walked home. This is an investigation I'm doing.
The irony.
Yes.
Your dad abandons you.
Wow.
You living in a, in a slumish place.
Yes.
You go to school without shoes. And then the first time you see him, he's getting into a car.
Yes.
And you have to walk back home.
Oh, yeah, and it was about 3 kilometers from where we used to
How
live.
was that like for you?
It was very hard for me, because in my childhood, I yearned, and because when I told you that I felt bad, because it was brought to my awareness that, oh, dads are here, they're always there to protect. Like when kids tell you that I'm going to call my dad, they mean that I'm bringing in protection, bigger than me. So don't you dare, So when I felt like I don't have that, that's when things started, I started realizing, for sure, I don't have anyone to call. And the only one person I can call is mom. Do you know what I resolved? I resolved to be good to my mother. That is just to be loyal to my mom and just to do everything that she asks.
Did you approach him and you were like, we mzee nasikia we ni babangu?
Second time, I went. And then I said, this time, after a while, this time I'm bold. I'm going to ask him. Because why do we go, I go without food, and yet somebody lives so well. So I went one day and asked, and I now confronted him. Hey, hi, my name is so and so. He told me, oh, okay, wait there. He never showed up.
Kai,
He never came.
was he like happy to see you
No.
when you told him you
No.
are his son?
No, I didn't say I'm your son. I said
Oh.
my name is so and so,
Eh.
and I come from this place. My mother is this.
So he knew.
Yes, he knew. So he told me,
Let me come.
and he used the back door and went.
Kaingia mitini.
I went, trust me. Came in at that time. After a while, this time, I'm not telling my mom.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
I'm not telling my mom. It's my own investigation. So actually, I've never shared this. And then I came back to him and he saw me from a distance. Now he recognized me. He said he's busy. Do you know I left there? I said, for sure, you can do this to your own? Then I was needing, in my head, I needed that covering of a father. There was a hunger in me to be accepted. No.
And when we even say hunger, it's like literally, you're even sleeping hungry. So you have the hunger of
Yes.
needing a dad. You
Yes.
have the hunger, you need food.
Yes.
You need school fees. Your
We
mom
need-
is struggling.
Yes.
And this guy is so heartless.
I left the place and washed my hands. And now this is time I told my mom. I mentioned to my mom, I went to such and such a place and this is how I was received. She told me, son, don't do that. Don't you do that. So
It must have tore her apart.
I went, now continued with my life. Now as usual, when I became of age, mom gave me a separate house and he told me, this is your house. Since now you've now become a man. This is your house. My brother felt like my mom loved me more. And so one day he came, he bought petrol and came and poured it around my house and he was drunk and held a
The
matchbox.
kiberiti.
And so he wanted to light it. That's when I held him. Now, I had never fought my brother and we've never had all those tough fights. No, but that time I really made him not do that because he was determined to wipe away anything that belongs to me and even me. So he went back. He went back to selling those things. My sister and I constantly went to call him out of that dungeon. Come out, please, bro. Come out. Don't even do school. Just do a course. Come out. And he was too rooted.
And this was too tough for mom also.
Now, I'm here trying to protect mom because she's acting father, mother. This son has come out of hands. He's out there. He's not hearing. He could abuse my mom, broad daylight. So my mom was so embarrassed. We used to cover that. Please don't. We bring him home. He changes a few today, tomorrow, 1 week, then he goes back. And let me tell you, I am not handsome. My brother was. I mean, cute, chubby, little person. Daniel was his name. After a while, he started developing lungs problem. And then we took him to the hospital. And he didn't make it. I felt so bad. Because I hated the way he used to abuse my mom when he got drunk. And from there I hated alcohol with everything within me. And then when he died, I realized that it is alcohol that killed him. I hated it 100 times. it was too difficult. It was too difficult, knowing that this is life we are living. My mom has no one to defend her. And here you are, you come to abuse my mom. We try to get you out of the place you are. You can't get out. But here has come a tragedy. You're gone. My brother was loving. When he was in his sober moment, he was the best boy ever. And now, to make it worse, is that he was younger than me. Yeah, by about 2.5 years. He passed on. And it was hard for my mom. Very hard for my mom. Very hard for my mom. We really comforted her because she felt a big loss. Yeah. And as much as a kid is bad, he's still your kid.
Still your kid.
He's still my brother. And it felt so bad because he was the only brother that I had. And so, worst thing is to see that we are going all through these things. Father is not there. You know, he's not there. So we comforted our mom, we comforted ourselves, family members comforted us. And that was that. My sister is my pillar also. My sister, Nyambura. She is older than me. And so she was there. She was there to encourage us. So life moved on. Life moved on. I finished high school, class 8. Mm-hmm. And immediately, because of the situation around, my aunt offered me a job. As soon as I finished class 8, my aunt offered me a job and I went to work to sell kerosene or paraffin in one of our shops. And to me it was a breakthrough because I started earning 3,000 Kenya shillings. 3,000 Kenya shillings. Yes. And I started selling kerosene and very happy. I'm working. Then, those days, you used to stay about 3 months and then the results come. So when the results came, I was called into a school in Ukambani. And my mom told me she was very happy. Since my sister didn't cross to go to the high school, yeah. My brother dropped out.
Yes. Finally, someone is making
and
yes.
She was really proud.
Yeah.
She was telling my neighbors, hey, now I'm taking my son to high school. Got into a matatu, went to Nairobi city center.
Yeah.
To Gikomba.
Yes.
To buy school uniform.
Yeah.
Trouser and all that. And then we came across a tie that was green.
Yeah.
With white stripes.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at the tie and I told my mom, you know what? I don't think I'm going to school.
What?
Yes. Trust me, that spirit of not going to school had also gotten into me. And also, because I was working, I felt like, why do I need to go to school? After all, I'm working, I'm earning. My mom, that was the first time I ever disappointed mom big time. Because she had these big dreams of educating, also to be one of those mamas or parents who have their kids, in high school.
That was her dream.
Yes.
And you are taking it away.
I took it away. We came back not talking to one another. Luckily she paid for my bus fare. we got
Amwongeleshani lakini amekulipia kafea.
Tukafika nyumbani. Do you know what? I went back to work. Now, I didn't go back to Kangemi. I went to Ngong, a place called Bulbul. There I got friends. And God knows, when He has your future in His hands, and He has you, whether you go this way or you go this way, He will get you. My list of friends there in Bulbul, he was in high school and he was in Form 4. So whenever they would close school, because that whole year, now I went to start working. Whenever they would close school, they would come, we talk. others were working, and the others were who were in university. They would come and talk about high school life. Really talk about it in my presence, and I could not even share anything with them. Talking about lab or laboratory, school life, subjects that they used to do, biology and stuff, nothing. I mean, I'm just there.
Blank.
But I'm working. I told them, don't worry. So one of them asked, why don't you share about your nene? As when it dawned to me, I didn't go to high school. And I told him, I didn't go to high school. So he told, I felt very bad when I went back into the house. Because here I am saying that I'm selling, I'm in business, I'm working. Yes, it's not my business. But I don't have that education. Yeah. So I went back, I stopped working. And I went back and told my mom, I want to go to school. I felt some joy, you know. All of a sudden I decided, no. In fact, that tie, I'll put it on. That tie, I'll put it on. So, because that chance to go to that school had
expired.
Yes. It's a year later.
Yes.
So we looked for a local school. Mm-hmm. That local school was about 10 kilometers away. That's the one we found. She had 3,000 Kenya shillings. She went to the principal. She told the principal, my son is willing to go to school. And I have 3,000 Kenya shillings. Will you take him? Please. I got a chance.
Amen.
Went to school.
Yes.
Did school. Let me tell you, without thinking the distance. On Sundays, I go to church. Weekday, I go to school. Sunday, church. We became a big group, dance group. It used to be called Rejoice Africa. Yes. Right now, my head is tough. But
like
then,
your bones are tough. My head is bones, people.
My head is bones. So, very, right. We could dance, let me tell you, and I loved it. It's like something was opened within me that I didn't know. There and then, after school, 2 years later, into that school, first of all, my mom got me a bike. 2,000 Kenya shillings. Got me a bike and I could ride it to school. Oh, I loved it. Back and forth, riding to school, back and forth, every day. That used to be life. Me and like a bag and then riding bicycle to school. Yeah. I loved it. I rode the bicycle everywhere. During the weekends, I could go to Ngong, Karen, just riding. That became another life. So, came to a point, that school, I needed to move from that school. I told my mom, I think this school, some issues came. So I needed to transfer to another school. Went to another school. Still in the same place, Rongai. It was a Christian day and boarding. So I got in the day section. Yeah. So I could go and go home.
Yes.
Didn't last a week. I found there they play music. They sing on Fridays. They see you. The guy is now in the boarding section. To me it was like heaven. Back at home, my neighbor had taught me how to play the piano. And this is what happened. They had the piano, but they didn't want to give it out. But the boy came with it out and told me, Tony, today, just let me show you. He showed me one chord and how to play it. I practiced that thing. Have you ever bonyezad? Huh? In fact, if there was bonyeza ushinde, I would have shindered that day. Mm-hmm. I bonyezad that thing, my tears would come out just because of constantly looking at that thing. By evening, I knew how to play better than him. One day evening, I was left behind, and I told the principal came and saw me playing. I got the chance to touch the keyboard, and I was singing. This is the song I was singing. Omba omba utafute uso wa Bwana aonaye kwa siri atakujibu kwa wazi. I had known that song as if I was the one who had written it. He came and asked me, young man, can you stay here and become a boarder? I told him no. My mom can't pay. He asked me, I didn't ask you whether to pay. Mm-hmm. He asked me, just go ask for permission whether you can be allowed to stay here. I went, asked my mom, and she asked me, the first thing, what is he after? I mean, why did he tell you to that? But I spoke to her, and she said, if he is indeed genuine, because he is a bishop, yeah, it's okay. First time to be in a boarding school. Hey, went there. He told me, son, listen, don't even worry about school fees. Don't worry about what you will eat.
Guy.
Your uniform, anything. I'll take care of that. I mean, blessing. He provided me with pocket money. He gave me, I didn't used to eat githeri, but special diet, I was in it because of him.
And special diet is a big deal.
He's called
in high school.
Up to date Bishop Jeremiah Kibobi. And this is where I will say, there are games we play, the video games we play in our phones, computers. They have lives, you know. They have lives. Like you go and then you collect a life, and then you go into the next.
Yeah.
People that in life, you have your own life, but there are lives that God has put in place in form of destiny helpers.
Aye. Amen.
And those are the people that you meet, you push to another, they push you to another level. You go to another one, you meet another one, they push you to another level. This one was my life then. You know, one of those lives. He pushed me to another level. I finished high school without paying. After I finished school, he told me, son, because we were friends, he allowed me to be a photographer in school. After school, he told me, son, I need to do something more for you. I saw when you were in school, you loved cars very much. Oh, vehicles. We didn't have, but I loved them. He told me, I'll pay for your driving school. Talk of blessings. Talk of blessings. I went to driving school in Nairobi, and I used to live in Rongai. I went because I looked. He told me, look, just look. I looked and found one in Nairobi because I needed to know how to drive within the city center. Went to, then I needed to do a course something to do with photography.
Yes.
Went to one of these universities. Nikatafuta and then I got a chance to do photojournalism. Didn't have a coin. People came through for me. Somebody paid my admission fee. Told me you need to be there. I did that course. I did that course for 2 years. Finished. Then I needed to have gadgets like cameras and stuff and start working. But I didn't. That wasn't my time. I always say that that wasn't my time because I didn't even have a phone that can take photos, leave alone a camera. So that's when I decided, let me go to a church and work there. I joined a church in Karen, and that's when I moved from Ongata Rongai and then came to live in Ngong, because just to be close to the church. Yes, that is a church now. I stayed for about 1 year there, and then that's where I found my wife, and that's when we did our wedding.
Yes.
2011, 5th of March, 2011, and it was huge. It was a big wedding. 750 people came for our wedding. Imagine. We featured on Samantha bridal show. I don't know where they came from, but we featured. We were on a newspaper. A boy who didn't have nothing, who didn't have anything. You see?
A boy who was rejected.
Boy who was rejected. Yeah, my mom walked me by herself because she was proud. And I'm always grateful for my mom for bringing us up in a bold way. In as much as we didn't have so much, but she gave us love. One thing I forgot to mention.
Yeah.
A while before I left Rongai, I went I started driving. You know, after I started driving, people entrusted me with their vehicles, and there was a time I drove and parked the vehicle next to the building. You remember the building? My dad's. And now I am big. I mean, I am big. I do not want anything from him. I just needed a closure. I mean, you and me. Nisitai kuongelesha tena. I went and I found them, 3 of them, taking some pombe there. And I said, hi, how are you? I hope you guys are good. I just wanted to say hi to you. Is it okay if I could see you for a moment? Sasa hiyo naongea kizungu. Kizungu hata sasa nilikuwa nayo. And he said, not now. Do you know that now? Give me a closure. Give me a closure. He said, not now. He knows this face has been coming, you know. And I went.
And of course, her father knows his
I
son.
never told my mom. I never told anybody.
And that was the closure.
That
you
was the
needed.
closure. That's one. In fact, that was the closure.
And not now is still not now.
Yes? Yeah, not now is still not now. There was one day I made a prayer. And this was innocent prayers you make as a kid. When I got rejected that way. And I said, maybe God one day you'll make me famous. And maybe he will see me singing on TV and come to me and want to associate with me. I didn't know, it was just a prayer that I was making. And I don't know whether he has ever seen me.
Because you're on TV now.
I don't know whether he has ever seen me. And the question I struggled with is, should he come, what will I tell him? Or should I meet him? No, because I initiated and I got rejected. Should he come?
What will you say?
But let me tell you, today in the morning when I was coming here, I woke up with forgiveness within me. It's very difficult, but wherever he is, let him just know that I don't need anything from him. I have my family. God has really been my father, replaced filled that space and that gap. I don't really need anything from him. I don't need shambas, you know. But one thing I'd say, I forgive him. Wherever he is. Because he's not dead. He's still alive. I forgive him. And I will say it on this show. I forgive him. Yes. Just to put a closure to that.
Yes.
Why? Because God has blessed me. I'm a father now to 3 awesome babies.
It's funny we are about to end the show with the same amount of grace that you started with.
Yes.
We started about talking about your family. We've had, like you are now talking about your kids, and all of a sudden you are blooming. Yes.
Because of that, because I told you, I felt I was rejected when I was growing up, but God made me a father.
Yes.
And he showed me how to be one.
Yeah.
And that's why my prayer is to always be there for my kids. Trust me, I never received any I love you from a father when I was growing up.
Yeah.
But I give it to my children every day.
Yes.
Every day. So
every day.
that's why when I speak about my family, it gives me a lot of joy. A lot of joy. And I feel complete.
Yeah.
And I feel that God, he knows how to bless. Yes.
And God is not a man.
Oh, he's not a man.
Yes.
Until you are there, you are wondering, Siji, what your upbringing does not define you.
Say
who
that
you
again.
are now.
Say that again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your upbringing
Does not
define
where you will end.
Where you land and who you are right now.
Yeah.
And where you'll be tomorrow. God knows the end of something even before it begins.
Amen.
So he knew you. And he knew your past.
And he knew the plans he
And
had
he
for
knew the
you.
plans. So when they connect, imagine you become the better person, the better version that he needed you to be.
Yes.
Don't judge yourself by who you are. Yeah? But your tomorrow is greater than today. Imagine.
Amen. It's
And then-
as simple.
And imagine it's as simple as that. Today when I look at my background, I can't dwell there and tell you, imagine, because I'm no longer there. God has moved me from that point, and I'm here. And when I go back to Ongataronga, I imagine they are my peers who are still there, and their lives are still stuck there. I mean, but I always tell God, it's not that I give you anything to make me who I am today, but it's because I was in your plans for my future were great, and I got aligned to those plans, and that's why I am here. And it's all by the grace of God. It's not by my doings. It's not that because I sing well or anything, but it's because God's grace and mercy were on me.
Were on you.
Yes.
I was going to ask you to talk to someone who is going through so much in life right now, but there's something about your voice, you know, that shakes. I told you earlier, I was listening to your song with my big sister, and she kept, you know, the table, yes, and I was like, si utulia hata tusikize wimbo. If you were to sing to someone right now watching you, what would the verse be, or what would just take it away?
If I were to sing,
yes, or rap.
Hey, no, rap I will swallow my tongue. Now, if I'm to sing, there's a song I love, and it's called Made Away, because it somehow relates with my life. Yes, and I'll sing it in my mother tongue. I always say the reason why I sing covers, and I'm known to be the cover singer and all that. Yes. And people ask me, why do you sing covers? And why do you translate them to your language? There's a saying that goes, talk to a person in a language that he understands, and it goes to his head. But talk to the same person in his language, and it goes to his heart.
Yes.
And that's why when I sing in that language, it goes to the hearts of many. And when that song is brought down to their language, they feel connected. Yes. It doesn't mean that other languages are not, but even when you sing a song in your language, it brings you home.
You feel connected.
You feel connected.
Okay.
So this song says, Newa tuirejera riria twakinyite mwisho na tukiona tene twathira wa tuirejera na nikio twi haha tondu ni watuire njira uthengagia irima ugatuma thingo igwe kwa hinya gutiri undu ungikurema nikio ndi haha tondu ni watuire njira.
Wow.
The reason to why we haha is because God made a way somewhere in your life. Trust me, I grew up in Kware, and I'm not saying this for bragging sake, no, but because of praising my God who is in heaven. I started singing, and God brought me into this limelight, and He used my talent to bring me to places where I could not have taken myself. The Bible says your gift will bring you in the presence of kings. You see?
Yes.
I sang one day in a very big meeting in this country, in Madaraka, and in a state function. Imagine, having received a call from the State House. I did not deserve it, but God knew that your life would come to this point.
Yes.
So you were there, saying that my life does not add up to anything. When I look at my background, when I look at where I am at the moment, let me tell you, God knew you, He knows you, and He still will know you even in your future, because He has a big and a great future for your life.
Yes.
Don't give up. Don't hear what people are saying. Focus on this God. Trust me, your gift will make you, or will bring you in the presence of kings. I did the song Nara.
Yes.
That's when things went
viral.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a lady in the US, I call her mom. That's another You see, when I was talking about lives,
Yes.
you know, in the game,
Yeah.
that's another destiny connector.
Yes.
That's another destiny helper that God placed. There are people God is placing in somebody's life today
Yeah.
as destiny connectors.
Yes.
Her name is Alice,
Yeah.
and I love her so much. And receive my greetings wherever you are in Boston.
Yeah.
I love you so much,
Yes.
my family and the entire family. We love you so much,
Yes.
Alice. Thank you for even believing in my gift and even making it possible for some things to happen.
Yes.
Holding my hand and encouraging me.
Amina.
Yes.
Tony, thank you so much. I feel like we were hata nikaa ikuwa Tuko Talks, nikaa tulikuwa church, tumeanza church, tumemaliza. I feel like this was a much needed conversation, especially for anyone who is out there and they are struggling. Just to see you come from what you came from to where you are right now makes me, you know, it gives people hope, you know. And I know you spoke about Alice, and I don't want to end this episode without saying Tuko is a family. You see stuff and you recommend them and you tell us, can you try and cover this person? And we do. When Alice is also a mutual friend,
Yes.
and I saw her, she posted something on her WhatsApp, and I saw you singing, and I quickly texted her, and I was like, who is this guy? Can I please host him? And I was like, because she's in the US, I assume you're also in the US.
Oh, praise the Lord. Hallelujah.
Yes, and she said, no, he's in Kenya. And guys, I can't thank you enough for the times you watch this show and you believe in the show. And today, I also feel rejuvenated.
Amen.
Acha nitumie jina kubwa.
Yes,
I feel rejuvenated.
Amen.
And I do not even have an outro for this show. I hope you guys were inspired. I hope you are challenged, and your past does not define your future.
Amen.
And go listen to that song, Made Away. We'll be sure to link up.
Oh, yeah.
You are, you know, where people can find you on YouTube.
Oh, yes.
So they can go and listen to
Yes,
you.
Tony Cruize.
Yes.
Tony Cruize International
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
Please find me. Feel free to like the page, to subscribe, to leave a comment
and share.
Exactly.
Yes. And don't forget to say Tuko sent you. My name is Lynn Ngugi. Till next time. Bye bye.
Tuko.
Tuko sent you.
Tuko sent you.